A very good evening to my friends in Potong Pasir SMC. 敬爱的 Potong Pasir 的朋友 Salam sejahtera para penduduk Potong Pasir. Vanakkam. Joo Seng, McPherson Green, Bidadari, Tai Seng, Senate Estate, Woodleigh, Carmichael Road, Potong Pasir. If you live in one of the areas I've mentioned above, then this message is for all of you. A few months ago, the Electoral Boundaries Review Committee decided to unite our communities under the constituency of Potong Pasir SMC. The boundaries drawn may be artificial, but thanks to them, something's very real that unites us, and it is now brewing. It is 8 p.m. and we are about 4 hours away from cooling off day. I want to take this opportunity in my final e-rally to speak to you one final time before we try to create history on the 10th of July. I wish I was able to address you in a rally. There's just something about the human touch and the physical presence. But nevertheless, this screen is all that divides us, and we will have to make do for now. At least you can look me straight in the eye, and hopefully you will be able to feel my passion, which burns for all people and for our country, Singapore. Over the last couple of years, Potong Pasir was my second home. Then a few months ago, Joo Seng, Bidadari, McPherson Green, Tai Seng joined this family. Although the 9 days has been really a whirlwind, I must say that I'm extremely blessed in this in this campaign to have met all of you and gotten to know so many of you. This will be just the beginning of a long and fruitful journey ahead for all of us. Today, I want to share 3 things with you, and it is my hope that we reflect on these 3 questions over the next 24 hours. First, what should we expect from an MP? Second, what can we do for our community? And finally, what is the future we envision for our country? In this rally, I will answer these questions, and I will make my case to convince you that together we can always aim for something better. My address to you today may be slightly more than half an hour or thereabouts, but the decision you make on the 10th of July will have consequences for the next 5 years or more. I hope you can hear me out. If your loved ones are nearby, invite them to tune in as well. And if you have parents who live in Potong Pasir SMC, please also share with them your thoughts after this message is over. First, what should we expect from an MP? A member of parliament has to be a servant leader and a servant of citizens. The MP's primary interest is to serve the needs of his or her constituents. It is the people who elected the MP into office, and it is these very people that he or she must be accountable and answerable to. We must never forget that. And when a mistake is made, an MP must apologize. When a question is asked, an MP must answer. When concerns are raised, an MP must solve the problems. If it is not within his or her power to solve, he must speak up in Parliament to ensure the matter receives attention. An MP must also be able to manage a town well and look into the needs of the residents. Your MP must be accessible, and you must be able to answer all queries swiftly and quickly. You need an MP that's answerable, accessible, and accountable. You also need an MP that demands answers and holds the powers that be accountable for their actions. I will share some of the ways that I will be accessible and accountable as your MP. Traditionally, people only get to access their MPs via Meet the People sessions, which are usually held once a week. For Joo Seng, I have discovered it was twice a month. One will have to queue up, sometimes for hours, to meet the MP or his representative to voice their needs and have an appeal letter filed. This is a model which has run its course. In this day, where we can harness technology, why is there still a need to make our constituents queue for hours so that we can attend to their needs? Remember, an MP is supposed to serve you. If given the opportunity to serve as your elected representative, I will revolutionize the way the MPS is being held. We will harness technology and community networks to ensure that your MP is accessible, answerable, and accountable. We will attend not just to your needs once a week, but as soon as you have issues which need handling. This is not something which is hypothetical, but something which is already in existence. On my website at potongpasirhose.sg, I set up a Get Help tab a couple of months ago. Through this portal, residents submit their concerns and also attach any supporting documents. These emails go directly into my inbox and I will deal with them. Residents also have my personal number, and if you all need help, you just need to drop me a line and I will respond almost immediately. Residents who have reached out to me will surely attest to this. Immediately, I will get up on the matter and help them to do the necessary, whether it is to send an appeal letter, seek clarifications, or find answers. In my previous rally, I've shared just some of the real examples of how we have helped residents of Potong Pasir successfully. This is just one small but a shining example of how we can use technology to provide a better service to our community and be accountable and accessible. Of course, we will still have in-person Meet the People sessions, especially for those who may not be adept at technology or those who may wish to have a conversation with me and my team over matters which need personal attention. By now, every resident has my personal handphone number and email. Now, this is not something I'm doing just as an election stunt. The people of Potong Pasir have had my personal handphone number for years and it's featured in all my flyers and collaterals. It is important for me that you can reach out to me if you need help. Over the past months, I've received hundreds of emails and have always ensured that I respond to every one of them. Even if it means that I have to stay awake after a long day of campaigning, I will always take the time to respond. It is just basic respect. If you take the time to send me something or share your concerns, I respect your concerns and I will respond. While this rally will focus mainly on our community, I also want to take some time to talk about the duties of an MP at a national level. At this national level, MPs should also be able to speak out without fear or favor. However, this is rare, as most MPs are bound by the party whip. Essentially, they have to toe the party line. For example, during the 2019 budget debate, not only did the previous MP for Potong Pasir support the GST hike, he went one step further to say that the planned GST hike was still not enough to meet future needs. Well, unlike your former MP, I can speak up for you on national issues in Parliament without fear. Cost of living, HDB lease decay, wage inequality, mental health wellness, climate change, among so many others. These are some of the issues which we need and we should have been debating during the course of these elections. You deserve better, which is why when I received ideas and feedback from all of you, I made it a point to work with my team to apply our minds and to think up possible solutions very, very quickly. Yes, it is good that we look at the ground amenities, but there must be something deeper which we need to put our hearts and our minds to. For the middle-aged folks, they are concerned about retirement, adequacy, and mental health. For the sandwich generation, they will have concerns about raising their children while still having to care for their parents. For the young, what is the future we want to create for them? What other kind of jobs do they have? Is it one that is filled with opportunities? Is it one where they can still dare to dream? How about job security? These things require debate and discussion at a national level. They cannot simply be addressed just by the building of new amenities. It is my promise that as your MP, I will contribute to the national debate in a robust and rationally evidence-based manner. I will seek answers I will advocate for a more inclusive and progressive ideas, and I will ensure that you are represented and heard. Where policies serve Singapore and Singaporeans, I will support them. Where policies need refining, rethinking, or can be improved, I will speak up on them. Where there's a robust contest of ideas, we will be able to produce ideas that best serve our nation. It is my desire to add value to the national discourse in Parliament. This is my guarantee to you. Ideally, such promises do not need to be made, as it is the role of the MP to speak up and be heard on national issues that affect every one of us. We must have an alternative and independent presence in Parliament to ensure there is accountability and a check and balance. Blank checks are unhealthy for any democracy. On July 10th, you have a chance to decide the type of politics you want and the MP you want. And I hope you choose an MP who cares. CARES is an acronym for the values I would like to see in my own MP too. Compassion, accountability, respect, and empathy, exactly like what I placed in my local manifesto. Now, let's just look towards the future instead. Let me take you on a journey where I share my plans, or rather, our plans for the future of our community in Potong Pasir SMC. These plans are ours, as many of them actually arose from my interactions with you and hearing your concerns and your desires and your hopes. These plans are a result of years of consultation and conversations on the ground and built upon a feedback that I've received from interaction with you even over the last couple of days. Firstly, I would like to facilitate and lead the building of a resilient and compassionate community in Potong Pasir SMC. It is of utmost importance that as a community, we look out for one another. A few days ago, we read about the tragic story in Potong Pasir. It was reported that skeletal remains of a resident was found in an apartment. This is terrible, terrible news. And it raises many questions. How could no one have checked on them? Where are the gaps in our community? Such incidents must never, ever happen and occur again. And we must look out for one another. Some of the blocks in Joo Seng and Poise, for example, have WhatsApp chats. These are organic ways of community building, which I love to see. In this way, the community can keep in touch with one another, share food with one another, and perhaps even share common concerns with one another. Remember, I'm seeking not just to be your MP, but your friend and your voice. We need a community that is led by the residents, for the residents. I will take the first step in helping build institutions that help to strengthen this community. If elected, I am donating 50% of my MP allowance towards a Potong Pasir Neighbourhood Fund. This fund will be administered by a special board that will be made up of residents from all over Potong Pasir SMC. It is my hope that we build on this fund so that the less fortunate amongst us will benefit. I will tap on my personal fundraising experience to help bolster these funds so that our residents will get the help when they need. No one will be left behind, not on my watch. The fund will also be used to help any resident who may fall through the cracks in relation to government grants. And sometimes we do have such instances where residents have their requests rejected because of technicalities. With me, you will never walk alone. My team and I will be there to help lift you up when you are down. Just like how we helped Eugene Peng and Mickey, Daniel, Cherry, Madam Chuangi, and so many others in the estate over the last few years with our own personal networks and resources. For residents who have lost their jobs and need help with being linked to companies for roles, we have also formed an alliance with various companies who have come forward to support me and residents of Potong Pasir. We will do our best and we will try hard. But I will also have to be honest with you and tell you when it is time to get retraining or reskilling. And even with this, we will help you through and ensure that you get the career counseling you need so that you can secure employment with new skills. Guess what? Just today, I received one such request from a resident of Joo Seng. and I will help him. I will help him. Speaking of jobs, it's also my intention that residents of Potong Pasir get first priority for jobs in our Potong Pasir Town Council. Yes, we will bring Potong Pasir Town Council right back to Potong Pasir. Where job opportunities arise in the Town Council, we will extend it to our fellow neighbours who may need them as a priority. My hope is to empower all of you so you have a stake in how your neighbourhood is run. It will be our responsibility to do better for the entire neighbourhood. If we look out for our neighbours, then soon we have an entire community that looks out for one another. Many of you already have that spirit. I have been invited into many of your homes, and many of you have blessed me with your amazing cooking, your company, your friendships. It is this very spirit that we must continue to grow, not just in Potong Pasir, but all over Potong Pasir SMC. In my manifesto, I've also set up my plans for us to have a town that is green, active, elder-friendly. Just to recap, you may be thinking, well, all these things sound nice, but are they actually workable? Well, let me tell you, the answer is yes. They are all doable. We are only limited by our willpower and our imagination. Potong Pasir is unique. Now it is time to rekindle that flame and build the kampong spirit Potong Pasir 2.0. Let us repurpose common areas to serve the needs of our community. And for this to be done, we will consult and decide on what our community needs and find a way to materialize it. Residents must have a say in how common areas are used, and their views must be taken into account. After all, they are the ones who will be most affected by the change. Such communities also serve a very important role, especially in times of crisis. If, touch wood, we were to descend into a lockdown again, we need a good communal spirit to help everyone tide through the crisis. If I know that my neighbor has lost his job recently, I will perhaps take the initiative to share food or my skills to help their kids with their tuition. This is what's necessary for our town. Another practical example of how such community networks help is with the current dengue crisis. This dengue outbreak is unprecedented, and despite the sky-high figures, we still somehow rely on decade-old methodologies to try and solve the problem. And giving out mosquito repellent isn't enough. We need an action plan, a clear action plan. My commitment to all of you is that we will embark on a town-wide campaign to bring awareness to residents on how we need to control the transmission of the outbreak. This also means putting together a working team to work with all our stakeholders in battling the outbreak, including the National Environment Agency, the developers involved in the construction work in the area, and all households. We will leave no stone unturned, and we will communicate to all of you effectively and clearly in a timely manner. We need action, not niceties. Apart from a dengue campaign, we will put together a green plan for the town. For this, I have asked eminent environmentalist Olivia Chung to lead my Potong Pasir Climate Change Committee. Olivia is also a resident of Potong Pasir SMC, and she will invite other like-minded individuals who care about sustainability into this team to build a program for Potong Pasir SMC. Thank you, Olivia Chung. We really love you being on board with us. Let Potong Pasir be a beacon of change for climate change and awareness and its battle. Apart from the Green Town, I am aware that residents in Woodleigh are extremely concerned about the issue of traffic management, given that there are lots of homes being built across the road from where they live, and also around the estate. I have informed those who have highlighted to me that we will piece together a team and engage in discussions with LTA, HDB, and all other relevant parties so that we are made aware of the traffic management plans for the area. For residents of Joo Seng and Bartley Ridge, I hear you too on the lack of amenities in the area, and also a lack of a straight bus which takes you from Joo Seng to Potong Pasir. And for a start, I will get a shuttle loop service started on weekends for residents to take them from Joo Seng to Potong Pasir and back. This is to ensure that you can enjoy the amenities in Potong Pasir and be a part of the greater Potong Pasir family. This is my personal commitment and my promise to you. Over time, if we have a demand, we will engage the public transport operators to look into the feasibility of having this done permanently. There is so much of work for us to get started, and I can sense your frustration just listening to you. I am blessed that I will also be assisted by a team of professionals in my work in Potong Pasir. These professionals include a legal team led by Mr. Eugene Turesingham, the managing partner of ET LLP, who have already been assisting me with the needs of residents in their needs for pro bono, in the needs for a wills on a pro bono basis, or even taking up legal cases. With the support and expertise of these professionals, we will be all equipped to take care of the estate and our people. Listening is exactly what I will do a lot more of, including involving residents of the many condominiums in Potong Pasir SMC. We need to build a community. You may be in Joo Seng or Tai Seng or Bartley Ridge or the Venue, but you are part of my Potong Pasir family. For a start, I will establish a Potong Pasir Neighbourhood Network program, which will include volunteers from the condos around Potong Pasir, like One Leicester, the Venue, Bartley Ridge, Avon Park, Park Mondrian, and Poise. The network will bring all of you together to serve residents of Potong Pasir and our community. Your energy over the last 9 days has motivated me and my team so much. Now, some of you have shared with me in private that you fear that you may end up losing a lot of things if you do not really re-elect the incumbent. You worry about the ongoing projects or the polyclinic. Now, I want to address these concerns directly. Let me be the first to tell you that you have nothing to fear. Firstly, as for the upgrading projects which are ongoing and the ones which already have been scheduled, there will be no disruptions. These projects have been finalized. All parties are contractually obliged to see it through. So for whatever reason, for whatever that has been already been put in place, it will not be disrupted in any way. It is the same for the polyclinic. This will be built regardless of who you choose to vote for on July 10th. In other words, even if both me and the incumbent are not around, the polyclinic will be completed, as this was already announced by the Ministry of Health on the 5th of March 2020. The polyclinic will be built by 2030. Yes, 2030. Just do a Google search on polyclinic and Bidadari and you will see the story. That this appears in a political manifesto is just baffling. Let me make this very clear for all of you. All citizens have an equal right to basic necessities like healthcare, transport, and housing. The days of using these areas for political purposes are over. We are in the 21st century, so please kindly stop using 19th century political methodology. I note that these fears may be a little bit more prevalent amongst the elderly. So if any of your older folks may harbor these concerns, I seek your help in helping to alleviate these concerns. Likewise, for the issue of voter secrecy, your votes are secret. People have voted for alternative parties and nothing has happened to them. So please do not worry. In about 48 hours, you will have to make a decision. When I first started on my groundwork in Potong Pasir 3.5 years ago, I did not ask for your vote. Rather, I asked for the opportunity to be your friend and to be your voice. Because that is the basis of how communities elect their leaders. The past 3.5 years have been nothing short of amazing for me. So many of you have let me into your homes and your hearts. You have blessed me with warm wishes, cold drinks, and words of encouragement. I honestly don't know what I can do to repay all of you back. And I will forever be guided by the principle of service before myself. You and your community and your personal needs are more important to me. Even yesterday, when I was in the midst of my campaigning, I asked my team to reschedule a little when I had a resident reach out to me over a housing issue, and I took the time to meet him to figure out what I could do to help him. And I've already been receiving requests for help from residents in Joo Seng too. And it's just been 9 days. I just want to tell you that to all of you that I'm here to help all of you. My friends in Potong Pasir, Joo Seng, MacPherson Green, Bidadari, Senate Estate, and all the private condos in Potong Pasir, I want to thank you for this journey and for being part of it. If I had to do this all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. Your smiles and support make it all extremely worthwhile. In the next 48 hours, I want you to think about the future you want for yourself, the future you want for your children and your grandchildren, the future you want for your community. Do you want more of the same, or do you want to take back control and be the change? We now have a golden opportunity that comes around only once in a lifetime, an opportunity to shape our destinies, a chance to be the change that we can see, a chance to create a better tomorrow for all of us. Vote for the future. Vote for a future where we look out for each other. Vote for a future where we thrive in our own special ways. Vote for a future where compassion and empathy are core values that we pass on to the next generation. Vote for compassion. Vote for accountability. Vote for the kind of politics that you and your future, for the kind of future you want to create. We have the power to show the rest of Singapore that this is possible. This is not the end, but this is our beginning. Whatever the results may be, I will always be your friend and your voice. Together, residents of Potong Pasir SMC can give birth to a new dawn on 10th of July. The time has come for us to take this Potong Pasir baby back home. Thank you all so very much for everything, for giving me this opportunity. I will remember all of you for as long as I live. Stay safe, and may you find the strength to stand for what you believe in, now and for always. Thank you all so very much, Potong Pasir. See you all again very, very soon.